My name is Kean Kramer and I'll be your host once again for the Waratah League Championship Wrap, which we'll be delivering to you each week. However, this season we are doing something a little bit different. More on that in just a second. The first major news we have is that Spalding is our new major sponsor, and they'll provide us with these delightful new balls. The players will have to familiarise themselves with this slick multi-panelled basketball. This year we are changing the format of our weekly show to highlight more of the fantastic and talented players we have across from all the divisions. Spalding Player of the Week is our new name and will be our new focus this season, as we will select 4 players each week and put them against each other in areas of athlete ability, sportsmanship and other key attributes, with the winner left up to the general public, which is you. All you need to do is comment and vote after each video, starting after round 1. Out of the 4 players we have selected, the winner will then be named Spalding Player of the Week and will receive their very own sporting basketball in next week's clip. But first of all, the season is creeping up on us fast, so here is a little taste of some of the changes, what to expect, and more importantly, the players and teams to look out for. It was a year to remember for most teams last season, with some tight tussles, high-octane competition, and some talented players hitting the court to bring us the quality the public was after. This year sees the team from the foot of the mountains enter the division with a strong following and an even colder climate in winter. Penrith have all the makings of a team to watch out for. It helps their cause by not having much of an expectation. Ben Kieran's will feature in the men's team as one of the marquee players, having spent time in the Sydney Kings team as a development player in the past. Madol Chol will also be someone to watch out for. In the championship men last season, it was clear the Sydney Comets were the competition favourites, leading the charge for the majority of the season. But when times got tough, they couldn't quite squeeze out what was needed to win the flag. It will be a massive year for them, with a host of players leaving the team to pursue other opportunities with other clubs. Luke Kendall will not be coaching the Comets after taking on Sydney Kings coaching duties, but it leaves the door open for Wayne Lobo to lead his team to glory. Indiana Faithful did it all for the Comets last season, and this year he will not be featuring the outfit as he takes his place in Siebel. There's an abundance of young talent ready to put their hands up and take on the scoring duties. The Norse Bears took the chocolates last year, and it took them 10 to 15 rounds to get moving and pick up the pace. Coach Ben Knight had them primed for the occasion and made them peak at the right time. It has always been a team-first motto from that club, and they'll be on the radar of many teams as the season progresses. Nick Blair has the handles and the agility to put any team away. To keep him contained, there's no doubting that discipline and a switched-on defensive mindset would go a long way. The Bears have themselves one of the most selfless point guards in the competition, to go with 7 to 8 players returning. Coach Knight has already put the emphasis on giving players a go, gifting youth league players and under 18s a chance to prove their worth throughout the season. Hunter Madden is a young kid who Knight has a lot of hope for. He is the New South Wales under 18s team and the Australian junior squad. Both big men in Daniel Trist and Dan Young will not be returning for quite some time, with an indefinite time slot on their future. Trist is playing in Spain and doing an excellent job, while Young is in his last year of college. 5th place isn't a position where you'd give any team hope to compete and make the finale, but Manly used that as motivation last year to make it all the way, and they fell short of winning the big one. So just how do they improve this year? What will it take? Well, that remains to be seen, but knowing how hungry they are could be the decisive factor after their heartbreaking loss in the grand final. Veteran Luke Cooper needs to be the one to lead his team around for the Seagulls to make the final dance once again. Bankstown has always had the talent to match most teams, and this year will see them having to do it without Jason Cadee, who has already stated that he will not be taking place in the outfit after the NBL season. Cadee instead will be lacing up for Australia in the Commonwealth Games and the World Championship qualifiers, which will open up an opportunity for Svetomir Gavrilovic to fill it up in the stats category. Creepy Crawley, watch out for the Hornsby Spiders. They're in a happy place at the moment. Finishing in 4th place last year has given them the confidence to boost themselves higher up the ladder. Daniel Moser had the ball on a string. He made everything look comfortable out on the court, and Hornsby will be needing his expertise once again. Pushing the leaders will be what the other teams want to achieve, and between Maitland, Central Coast, Newcastle, Sutherland and Hills, this may all be a possibility with a bit more hard work. The Women's Championship has continuously been fought for years now, and we would imagine this year would be no different. A few teams have been left out of this year's competition, but in comes Penrith and Central Coast to see if they can fill the void. When you think of the team to beat, it doesn't get more obvious than the North Bears. Freshly retired Sydney King Tom Garlop will hold the reins as the coach of the team. Although he hasn't coached at this level, his wise head will keep him in good measure as the season progresses. Hornsby will come into this year with their heads held high after a solid season last year, where they found themselves in a consistent battle with the higher achievers. What makes their story remarkable is that Alicia Poto hasn't aged a day, and she still performs as if she was in the WNBL. You mix that with a bunch of young girls, and you have yourselves a potential date with destiny. Bankstown has a new look side this season, with David Todd coaching the Bruins. David Todd coaching the Bruins after leading the Seagulls to victory in 2017. He's brought some talent over with him, so don't be surprised to see Bankstown push the leaders of the pack. As for the Comets, well, they have an international flavour this year with 2 imports from the Netherlands. Newcastle had the WNBL MVP in their squad last year in Susie Bakovic, but this year sees them having to pick up the slack without her. Shannon Seabum is an experienced coach to put up with this scenario, which is why Cassidy McLean will be under the watchful eye of the Hunters coaching staff. The Sydney Uni Flames player has to step up to be that dominant player the Nova Castrians will be after. Hills, Newcastle and Sutherland have a tough task ahead of them to compete, but when there's no expectation, that's when we might see the best out of these teams. The draw is enticing, and every team will have to be switched on to compete at the highest level. In the women's division, the game to watch out for is the 2 new additions facing off to kickstart their season. Penrith will have a drive to the coast to take on the Crusaders. That makes for some exciting viewing. It doesn't get much more mouth-watering than this in the men's division. The Comets will take the floor at home when the Bruins come to town. 2 of the best teams in the division will give it their all to take the W. Be sure to check out some of the matches in your area. We're in for an unbelievable year, and I bet you can't wait, because guess what? Either can I. If you believe there are some great players playing for your club this season, comment their name below and why they should be a Spalding Player of the Week. And they could be in next week's video. My name is Keane Kramer, signing out for the first edition of Spalding Player of the Week.